Greetings, wrestling fans! Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be doing October 3rd, Monday Night Raw 2022. Now, obviously, I didn't do the last few weeks of Monday Night Raw because I just personally didn't enjoy them. Wow. Good start. Me yawning. Well, that's kind of how I felt throughout this whole Monday Night Raw, to be completely honest. This Raw just didn't really feel that exciting. This was supposed to be the go-home show before Extreme Rules, but personally, it just didn't feel that way to me. So we started off with the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest taking on AJ Styles and Rey Mysterio. This ends with Finn Balor pinning AJ Styles. Man, I thought Triple H was gonna push AJ Styles. I heard a few people say that, Triple H is going to hit the reset button on AJ Styles, but it just sounds like he's not really doing much of anything with AJ Styles. I found it funny that when Triple H took over, fans said that Triple H was going to book a lot of people better. Oscar hasn't been booked any better since Triple H has taken over. AJ Styles certainly hasn't been booked better since Triple H has taken over. But, there's just a few people that I've noticed that haven't been booked very well. And why the hell is Rhea Ripley not wrestling? If she's capable, and I don't understand why she's not wrestling. And if people are telling me, she might not be cleared to wrestle, well, she's capable of it. She's capable enough to deliver a clothesline to Rey Mysterio. If she's capable enough to run and deliver a clothesline to Rey Mysterio, she should be more than capable of getting in the ring. Because I miss seeing Rhea compete. So after the match, AJ Styles pushed Rey Mysterio out of frustration. He got mad at him for not being there for him when he needed him. This caused Rey Mysterio to get upset and leave, and then the Judgment Day would beat down AJ Styles again, and Finn Balor would comically, hilariously, basically tell him to beat him down and punch him in the face and just tell him that I am your friend, please listen to me, but while punching him. It was just so comically funny. I just thought that was pretty hilarious. And we get Mustafa Ali. Thank God, he actually finally appear on the show for once, but unfortunately he pretty much got squashed here. It was pretty much one-sided. He got destroyed by Bobby Lashley. It was more in a way to have Mustafa Ali kind of not give up kind of attitude. That was kind of the squash they were trying to portray here. That he was just getting beaten down, but he'd never give up no matter what happened. But to me, a squash is a squash, and it just doesn't look good to me. But Bobby Lashley got the win. I mean, to be fair, should he really squash Ali? Considering he hasn't been on TV and because it's Bobby Lashley. I don't know. You guys let me know. You guys give me your thoughts on that down below. Anyway, then after the match, Seth freaking Rollins attacked Bobby Lashley. And we're going to be getting a United States title match between them next week. I'm actually kind of hoping for a new United States champion. An all-out brawl happened. Not an all-out brawl happens. We don't get an all-out brawl, but Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins have a war of words with each other. But there is a stipulation that was thrown onto this, that there was a no contact stipulation, and if either man decided to strike each other during this segment, then the fight pit match would be off. Has there ever been a wrestling feud where they have ever ignored that stipulation and said, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna punch you anyway? Like, Seth was throwing jabs at Riddle for his kids. Riddle was then throwing jabs at him for not main eventing a WrestleMania because Becky Lynch has main evented WrestleMania. So he was pretty much throwing jabs at Seth. Seth was getting mad, but then former UFC heavyweight champion of the world and special guest referee Daniel Cormier appeared, and he was announced to be the referee. Why not Ken Shamrock? Ken Shamrock made the absolute most sense to be the referee of the Fight Pit match, if you ask me. He was the originator of the Fight Pit. Now, I know the Fight Pit is different to the Lion's Den, but the Fight Pit and the Lion's Den are kind of similarly the same thing. They're sort of the same thing. So I kind of say Ken Shamrock was the originator of the Fight Pit, but he called it the Lion's Den. So that's a different, so yeah. Take that as you will, but I personally would have gone with Ken Shamrock. I don't know who this Daniel Cormier is. I'm not a UFC person. I don't watch UFC. I couldn't give a flying toss about UFC. Then we get possibly the funniest booking decision on the show tonight. I considered this hilarious. We had Dakota Kai take on Candace Lee Ray. Everybody was crapping on about this match, about how great it's going to be. Oh, a banger coming up. You know, people said this about Shotzi and Bayley. That didn't live up to the hype. Neither did this one. This one didn't really live up to much either. The Poison Pixie. She's going by her heel character while being a babyface. But this match didn't go for very long. And Candace Lee Ray loses. Yes, only her second match into her WWE return, and she already has a loss next to her name. However, I just want to point out that if this was Vince McMahon, and I know people are going to be mad at me for bringing this up, but it needs to be said. If this was Vince McMahon booking this match, and if it happened exactly the same way, if it was Vince McMahon booking this, I can almost guarantee you that every single person on the internet would have whined and complained and said that Vince McMahon buried Candace Lee Ray in this match. But because it's not Vince McMahon booking things, Triple H gets a pass. Because everybody trusts Triple H. So he gets a pass. I just think that's pretty funny. I just found that pretty funny that Candace lost. But it wasn't clean. Of course, it was protected. Of course, it was a protected loss. And that's kind of going to be another big thing that I'm going to be talking about in this review. There were so goddamn many distractions. Basically on this entire show, there were so many distractions. Damage Control kind of feel like a new bloodline. They kind of feel like the female bloodline. And in my personal opinion, I don't want anyone getting mad at me for sharing my own opinion, but I feel Damage Control are starting to feel a bit more like a female bloodline. But they're gonna lose more because Dakota and Io are apparently. They apparently lose more to protect Bayley, which I think is kind of stupid. But Dexter Lumis plays mind games with The Miz. I personally have lost interest in this. I just want to see these two wrestle. And then we get Otis versus Johnny Gargano. And to my shocking surprise, Otis got the victory here, but of course it was not a clean win. More outside interference shenanigans. This time it was Austin Theory smacking the briefcase across the back of Johnny Gargano, and Otis was able to nail the world's strongest Academy Slam, or as I'm just going to call it, the Alpha Slam, for the victory. I liked that Otis got a win here. I felt Alpha Academy needed a freaking win, considering that they have been losing ever since Triple H has taken over. But that doesn't change the fact that Johnny didn't lose clean. It doesn't change the fact that Johnny did not lose clean. How are we... The other thing I've really not liked about WWE is that they don't book big man wrestlers like they used to. like the days of Umaga. Like, they don't treat them like legitimate threats. Like, if you're a big man and you're taking on a cruiserweight, I feel like that big man should destroy the cruiserweight and look like a big deal. But unfortunately, big men slash women, that includes Doudrop, nowadays are not just threatening. They're not threatening because they lose. They lose convincingly, they lose easily. And that's my problem with big wrestlers nowadays. They don't treat them like monsters anymore. Like, poor old Doudrop, I would rather her be booked like Nia Jax. I'd rather her be booked like Nia Jax was. But no, she can't be booked that way. She has to be booked like a total frickin' chump. And even though Otis won this match here, I do hate that he had help. He's good enough, he should be good enough, to beat Johnny Gargano on his own, because he's a big man. And again, more interference shenanigans, and again, Triple H protecting his guys, because Candace Lee Ray didn't take a clean loss. Hers was a protective loss, and Johnny Gargano took a protective loss. And then we get a clean win here over Braun Strowman. This one was Chad Gable. Chad Gable did an unbelievable German suplex on Braun Strowman. I just can't tell you guys enough how underrated Chad Gable is. But people just rag on him because he does the shush please. People just call him annoying because he shushes all the time. He's a great wrestler. He's a great wrestler. He's underrated. I would love the Alpha Academy to dethrone the Usos, but that's never gonna happen. Because the Usos and the frickin' Bloodline are just not allowed to lose. We get Damage Control beating down Asuka and Alexa Bliss backstage during the Bianca Belair and Bayley contract signing. I really did not care for this. It just didn't feel... I don't know, this just didn't click to me. At least Alexa Bliss was finally serious. At least Alexa Bliss finally decided to grow a backbone and actually, finally be serious for a change. Like, enough of the smiling, enough of the stupid dolls. And she finally became serious for a change after that attack from Damage Control. And she's going to face Io Sky in the main event. And it looks like Asuka might have gotten injured. Then we had Solo Sikoa take on Angelo Dawkins. More outside interferences. I swear to God, this entire show just felt like nothing with outside interferences. Even in the Judgment Day match, there was outside interference. This entire show just felt like nothing, just full of outside interferences in every freaking match. I understand you want to protect the wrestlers, but it's just so repetitive, and this is the Bloodline. We see it all the time in the Bloodline. It really destroys belief to me that we could actually see a winner, especially when we constantly see outside interferences. The outside interferences in Solo Sikoa versus Angelo Dawkins was Jay and Sami Zayn constantly bickering and arguing with each other. It ultimately almost cost Solo the match, but in typical Bloodline fashion, Solo Sikoa was still able to win despite the outside interferences. So you mean Johnny and Candace lose their matches due to outside interference, but Solo Sikoa can win his match due to outside interference, even though from his own Bloodline. That tells you Bloodline always win, no matter how bad the situation is. And then our main event was Io Sky, written in Retribution-like letters, as in all capitals, against Alexa Bliss. Again, more outside interferences. And I cannot believe I am saying this, but I personally felt Alexa Bliss should have won this. Once that Twisted Bliss was hit, I felt like that should have been it. But no, in typical Triple H fashion, he has Bayley cause the distraction to help Io Sky get the victory over Bliss. I am sick, I'm already sick of it. I'm already sick and tired of the amount of distractions that Damage Control provide. And this whole group is supposed to be new, but I constantly see outside interferences. Every single match, it felt like outside interference, outside interference, outside interference. It really kills the mood. It really kills the mood, and it really kills the expense in these matches. Io Sky ended up beating Bliss with the moonsault because of, again, outside interference. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on Monday Night Raw. This episode was just full of too much distractions, and I really didn't like it. You guys let me know down below your thoughts and opinions, and I will see you all next time. Be sure to like and subscribe.